Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do, this download takes the longest, so we're going to go into Microchip Studio, or Google Microchip Studio download, and it'll take you, if you click that link, it'll take you to this page, and I believe, if you scroll down here, you should find Microchip Studio for AVR and SAM devices offline installer. You're going to want to hit download on that. I already have that downloaded. And then while that's downloading, you're also going to want to get, if you don't have it already, the Arduino IDE. Download that, and then also you're going to want to look in or Google free expression firmware, and you want GitHub that TASBot free expression, and you should be able to go over here into code and then download zip into a file that you know is relatively accessible. So once you have free expression downloaded, you're going to want, it's going to come into a zip file, so you're going to want to go and extract all, and that'll give you your free expression master. And so to find the firmware, it's going to be in source or SCR, and then it should be this free expression. So the free expression 6-2 is going to be the older Atmel Studios Microchip Studio. So if you have Microchip Studio 6-2, then you'll want to download that one into Microchip Studio, but I've got 7, so we'll just use this free expression stuff file. So go into Microchip Studios, you're going to want to go open project, and then I'm already in my, so free expression master, source, and then free expression right here. So if you go into your Solution Explorer, once you have this downloaded or opened on here, and find free expression, then the free expression solution, you want to go on, click on free expression, and then build. And it should build it here. There it goes. There we go. So you should have 0 errors, 0 1 warning, 0 1 messages. John Cabrer in his video, I would definitely recommend referencing it. That's what I've basically used to reference a lot of this. So he goes through to explain what those were for. I don't remember exactly. So once you have that built, then you'll go into files, and I had a hard time finding the hex file for it exactly. And so I copied it over into this one. But so basically the way I found it was I went into this PC and then typed in free expression. And searched that, and then looked for the hexadecimal file. Every video I could find told me it was in documents, and then there's a Atmel Studio. Since here, we'll open this again. So if you go into documents, then there should be Atmel Studio here in 7.0, and this is where I was told the file would be, but I can't find any of these files for whatever reason. So, here, go in here, and then it should be, that should create your, or you should be able to find your hexadecimal in there. So while that's loading, you're going to want to make sure that your AVRDUDE from your Arduino IDE is working with the command prompt. So if you type in AVRDUDE, press enter, it should give you something like this. That should show you basically that the AVRDUDE is communicating and working. So if you don't get this when you type in AVRDUDE, you'll have to go and create a path for it. So Circuit Schools has a good video on how to create the path for it and how to find it. That was another one that I was having a really hard time finding the file for. It's kind of hard to find, so same thing here. Went into this PC, searched AVRDUDE, and this is all on Windows 10. And so it should give you, I believe in this one, you can find this folder. Go to bin, and then there's AVRDUDE application. So you want to go in here, go /AVRDUDE .exe, and then copy that and then paste it into there if you're having trouble finding it. So before you hook your Arduino up to your Cricut or anything, you want to go into Arduino IDE and hook your Arduino up to your computer, and can make sure you've got your board selected. I don't have one plugged in right now. And you want to go to Examples, Arduino ISP, pull the ISP into there, and then select your board, and then upload it, and then that should run your Arduino as a ISP. So as far as wiring goes on this, your cartridge pins here, I pulled the plastic off just for a better view and to get these pins on better, these jumpers. So it's marked with a number 1 there, that's your number 1 pin, and they count going this way, back and forth. So this black wire here is number 1, and then this wire here, this white one in the back, this one's number 2, so you can see it goes 1, 2, then continues all the way to 10. You'll only use these 6 pins here, and so I'll put up a pin out as far as pinning into the Arduino, and then I gotta I don't remember how many, put a resistor on here. Arduino, it shouldn't need a resistor on it, but on the safe side there's some stuff on Arduino as far as what resistor to use and where to put it. I mean, you just put it in between ground and reset here, so I just got that wired in there. So yeah, once you search this, you want to make sure, I put a space in there before and that kind of screwed things up, so you want to make sure it's free expression, no spaces, and then capital F, capital E. That'll give you all of these search options, and so you want this FreeExpression.HEX, and so what you want to do is open file location, and this will give you the location here of the FreeExpression.HEX, and you want to make sure you type it out in here. Nope, put too many dots. So that should be exactly how it reads out. And then, so what you can either do is copy this or put it in a easier accessible folder, doesn't matter. And then that'll go in. So I'll post this in the description too. You want to put it down in here for the path to free expression. And then these are going to be your paths to AVRDUDE. Before you do that, make sure you have your COM put in, and then you can find that pretty easily in the Arduino IDE. I don't have Arduino open right now, but when you go to select board, it should show you which COM your Arduino is plugged in. So you just want to type in here in capital COM, mine's on 5, and that'll be 5, and then you can run it, of course, in command prompt. So what you want to do before you run this, you want to make sure you have your Arduino ISP downloaded, you have your capacitor and all your wires plugged into your Arduino and your Cricut. Then make sure the Cricut's powered on and the Arduino's plugged into your computer. So in this description, I'll have it listed out here, so it'll just be brackets here and here, and then say AVRDUDE, AVRDUDE. So that'll be your path to AVRDUDE, and then all this will stay, and then your path to your free expression hex. And so then what you'll want to do is copy this. If I can, okay, here. Oh, that didn't do it either. Okay. Make sure all of this is selected. Okay, perfect. So you want to copy that, open up command prompt. Once you've got, make sure you have, working AVRDUDE in there and your path to it. and you'll paste that in there. And can't find it in the file specified. I don't have my Arduino hooked up right now, but it should give you something like this, reading. It'll give you a percentage and run up to that, and then writing, and then reading it again. And then if everything works, it should be verified, and it should run it. And so, like I said, I definitely reference John's video on the free expression download. He goes into a lot more depth on some stuff. This is just basically what I figured for flashing with an Arduino ISP. But like I said, I'll link all those videos down in the description for John's video, and then Circuit School for the path to AVRDUDE. But as far as that goes, I think that's everything covered. So let me know if you got any questions. Like I said, I didn't go into too much depth on this. So once that's flashed, I mean, you shouldn't really have anything on the screen. Most of this stuff doesn't work. I don't remember. There should be descriptions for some of these buttons, like reset all. Yeah, it'll home the carriage, and then like your load and unload still works. Yeah, so that all works still. And so you're gonna need, your computer cable plugged in. And then for sake of, if I want to flash it again, or if I did something wrong, I'd because your cartridge is no longer, you can't use your cartridges anymore. So I took the cartridge wire, unplugged it from the cartridge port, and ran it underneath this hinge here. So in case you want to reflash it or something, I'd recommend running that out. But if not, it's no big deal. Just remember, your cartridges won't be usable anymore. But I hope this helps. And as far as running the Arduino on command prompt and all of that, I'm not exactly what you'd call an expert on this, but this is through a lot of trials and tribulations, I got to this and got it to work. So one more thing you'll want to have downloaded, it'll be in John's video, and I'd definitely recommend watching that video as far as the Inkscape setup, if Inkscape will load. But you'll want to have Inkscape downloaded, and then there's some things in the document properties you'll need to change for size and units and all of that as far as the Cricut goes. And then as far as your extension plot settings, you'll need to change some of that stuff. But like I said, I'd definitely recommend referencing John's video for that. But like I said, hope this helps anybody that's trying this or wants to try it. I'd say give it a shot.